Hello, my name is Zach Sawatsky. For my top 3 character strengths from the character strength assignment, I got fairness, forgiveness, and humility. The reason I chose these top 3 is because majority of my life I felt like these were evident in who I am as a person. And then once I took the survey, it kind of reassured me of that these were present in who I am. And I feel like the survey accurately assessed that. I think fairness, forgiveness, and humility all belong to the virtues justice and humanity. I think humility also belongs to the virtue wisdom as well. I think some positive correlate I have for fairness would be perspective. The reason I think this is a positive correlate is because I think connecting perspectives is very important in understanding problems or problem solving. I think it's advantageous to myself to be able to understand and see from other people's point of views, because it allows me to gain more information on said topic, which could potentially create a solution in itself. So that's why I chose perspective as a positive correlate for fairness. A positive correlate I chose for forgiveness was pro-social behaviors. In a world that's more social than ever with social media and its capabilities of instant communication throughout the entire world, I think forgiveness and its positive correlate, pro-social behaviors, applies to me because I think there's bound a time to come to anyone's life where, forgiveness is, important to move past a problem. And I think it provides flexibility to, moving through obstacles and stuff. And it also provides like a different level of understanding, and I think a more mature level of understanding. I think these apply to me because I'm a very forgiving person, and the reason that I'm a forgiving person is because of the connecting perspectives, and the reason I believe pro-social behaviors applies to me is because you could easily hold a grudge over, against something, and I think doing that it could be a hindrance in, potentially reaching your goals and such. So that's why I think forgiveness and the pro-social behaviors of, forgiving someone when they make a mistake or an error and be able to work past this stuff without, making things into a big deal is important, and it applies to me and how I am as a person. For a positive correlate, some positive correlates I chose for humility, I chose perspective and forgiveness. And all 3 of these tie in, and their positive correlates all connect together pretty well. Like I said earlier, for fairness and its positive correlate, perspective is a big thing with me, and connecting them and understanding, other people and what they're going through, because we're all going through different experiences in this life at different times. So I think, that in itself is advantageous to my social skills and working with other people, and just have a better understanding and a wider spectrum of, being understanding of what people could be going through. And then forgiveness as a positive correlate, where, connecting perspectives and stuff, there's, time come for forgiving, and, there's tons of times you'll come across opportunities where, a forgiving mindset will be more beneficial to me, or anyone else in that matter, rather than a grudge type mentality. So, I think they just tie hand in hand very well, perspective and forgiveness. Without the ability to connect perspectives, I don't know if forgiveness would be there. So, I'm grateful to have those. It's both positive correlates that apply to me. I wouldn't necessarily, I was surprised about the top 3, but I was like, the surprise for me was a reassurance. I've always felt like these were evident in my life: fairness, forgiveness, and humility as character strengths. But once I took the survey, it was just a reassurance for me that, these are here, and this is, my character strengths, and so that reassurance was a surprise to me. One way I'll use fairness on a day in and day out basis is just, going into an interaction where I'm working with different people and stuff. I try to treat them like they would want to be treated, or like how I would want to be treated. And so I'm treating people with respect and dignity, and then I expect the same back. And I think that's one way I'll use fairness in a daily basis. One way I'll use forgiveness in a daily basis is, oftentimes you'll have a moment where, somebody might not be able to show up to work, or a peer had to cancel some plans and stuff, or it could be a number of things that, this forgiving mentality would come into play for. So, like, one way I use forgiveness on a daily basis is just understanding that, I think it is just to have an understanding of people are going through different stuff at different times. I am myself, and like I said, with fairness, I treat people how I would want to be treated. So if I myself was going through some things that, I couldn't make, I just would want people to be forgiving to me. So I try to be forgiving to them. That's how I use forgiveness there. One way I use humility is, on a daily basis, I treat everybody unique and as an individual as they are. Every person on this planet is different and unique in their own way, and I try to respect that and treat them according to their strengths, and so that is one way I use humility. And a new way I want to use these character strengths is I just want to raise the degree I use them. From the text we read for the assignment, these character strengths are measured in degrees rather than categorically. So, every day your different strength is at a different degree, in a different situation it's at a different degree. So my goal is just to raise the degrees I use: fairness, forgiveness, and humility, in hopes to, one, have a more positive impact in my social interactions, two, to potentially raise the degrees of fairness, forgiveness, and humility in another individual, and then in hopes they would, in the next interaction they have, to raise another person's degrees in fairness, forgiveness, and humility. And from the text again, it said it's a universal language that's globally understood. So that is one way one new way I plan to use my character strengths is to a higher degree, to create a more positive impact on individuals that I encounter in my life. And I think using these in a higher degree and, playing to my strengths: fairness, forgiveness, and humility, I think they're going to benefit me on my path to my future career, in wildlife conservation, because I think all of these character strengths are essential in understanding, problem solving, working with team, empathetically thinking, connecting perspectives, which are all essential factors that fall within wildlife conservation. And also, too, in the realm of wildlife conservation, I think a lot of times you're fighting the fight that the animals, the plant life, the habitats can't necessarily fight for themselves. So I think these are very important character strengths to have that tie in with the character strengths wanted for wildlife conservation. And I think these will definitely aid me in my, achieving my goals and getting to my career of wildlife conservation along the way by just having positive interactions and communications with, professors in my academics and, professionals in my careers. I think leaving a positive impact and that small degree eventually will be, it'll grow to snowball to be a bigger impact on a wider scale. So that's how I believe it'll aid me on my way to my future career in wildlife conservation. And I enjoyed this assignment. It was, I learned a little more new things about myself, and I'm excited to, use these character strengths in a new way and a higher degree to, create more positive impacts. Thank you very much.